So this is the vlog for June 28th, 2018, Friday, for Type 2 trading, non-aggressive day trading. Just showing in the pre-market, it's 9:17. My gappers are a little thinner. I usually like to pick 6 stocks. Good number, fits nicely on my screen. Not too much, not too little. But I've only got 5 on my gapper. Now, my gapper does take into account float. I don't want small float stocks. It does take into account volume traded. Obviously, you can gap up real big with very little volume, depending on how the orders are set up. So, what we've got right now is we've got Cavium and we've got Marble Tech, who are both in the same field, and they are both involved in discussing or working towards a merger and acquisition. So I've got them kind of up, and they didn't behave similarly yesterday, other than at the end when they both dropped. But actually, no, I'm lying. They, just looking at the 2 charts here, they pretty close. So I don't know that I want to be in that trade unless something really good shows up, and then I'll kind of look at the clearer of the 2. Usually, we have the same problem with CVS and Walgreens here. It's sector movement. Walgreens actually is doing a stock buyback. They released earnings this morning, so there's a little more momentum there, a little more news driven for Catalyst. So I'm a little more interested in that. And then Bed Bath & Beyond is kind of my traditional Catalyst move going on here. So right now I've got those 6, and if another one pops up, I'll be interested in adding it. But with 11 minutes to go, that's very likely to be my watch list for today. So I'll talk at you later. Okay, so it's 1:18. Actually stopped trading a little bit before 12. Volume really peters off, and if I were a momentum trader, or a crystal baller, or some other kind of aggressive trader, I'd jump in after lunch and do the afternoon session. But I'm a non-aggressive day trader. I trade patterns, and my patterns work best when there's lots and lots of retail day traders, and we don't like working in the afternoons. So gonna go ahead and call it quits. It was not a bad day. It wasn't a great day in that I did not quite meet my 1% target. Let's see here. So the watch list is here. Let me pull in the profit and loss. So I actually made 5 trades because I traded Cavium 3 times. Now, in the session pre-market, I just listened to it and realized I'd kind of called Cavium out as well. I wasn't really interested in that. I actually traded it 3 times, and 2 of them I shouldn't have made. So maybe I should have taken my own advice, but we'll talk about that. Also, you'll notice that I did not trade any of the other stocks in my watch list from this morning. I actually found 2 other stocks that were having good momentum that just hadn't gapped enough to make it into the morning list, and wound up making some money on that. So as you can see, net of commissions, I made just right at $100 with ABC and Micron, and Cavium was my loser for today. So all told, we're gonna take it as a positive learning experience. So anyway, came out of it with just a little bit shy of $60. So my 1% goal would have been close to 150. So this was not a losing day, but it was not a fantastic day. And trading was very much of a slog today. It just seemed like their wasn't a whole lot of volume pretty early on. So let me go ahead and throw that aside. We'll talk about the trades. So let's jump right into Cavium. Cavium, as I stated, going through a merger and acquisition with Marvell. So with Cavium, I went ahead and from the open, it looked like it was making a nice descending channel. Now here, let me show you something first. Let's not be in Cavium. Let's go to Walgreens, and I want to show you something that I missed. So Walgreens, also from the open, was doing this really nice channel, and I missed my entry. Let me try to bring that up. Okay, so Walgreens started doing this really awesome descending channel. So a descending channel is a reversal, and that's going to typically indicate that if it's going down, then the stock's going to go back up. So again, you want to see 3 points for confirmation. So we had the 1, the 2, and the 3, and this would have been the entry. I had an order. It did not get filled. I waited till this particular candle finished, and this one started up. And as you can see, it never dropped any lower. So I had my order kind of right at the line, because that's our strategy, and never got a little dip down to get picked up. Okay, that's fine. Figured I'd let it come up, hit the support line up here, and then come back down. So what happened instead was it went ahead and went up exactly like I figured it would. So because of that, you don't play channels short. Even though you'd say, well, you could take the short position, go down, and then liquidate it, and then ride it back up. Sure. But there's no guarantee that somewhere around here you don't start getting your upward movement. So you just don't play it short. If it's descending, you play it long. Now, if it were an ascending channel, it'd be the opposite, and you would only do it short. So here I missed my entry. I did not get another chance, and as you can see, going through to 11 o'clock or just after about 10:50, it would have been a really nice rise. On these, you're looking for this range between your first point, the two support lines at your first peak is kind of your target range once you break support. So, if you translate this range over to here, you would have expected a profit of about there. So it actually, even went a little higher up than that, but that's what you would expect. So I missed that, did not get into Walgreens, never got another good opportunity after that. So, c'est la vie. All right, let's hit the watch list over here so I can actually see it, and then we'll get this back up. Okay, so moving on to Cavium. So with Cavium, as you can see, after I had missed the beautiful Walgreens descending channel, Cavium is also making a descending channel. It finished up a little bit late. So I waited till my third point, which was right here. And I went ahead and bought in, and I let it climb, and I went ahead and sold at the peak. I sold half at the peak, and then I sold another half over here as it dropped. So on these, I will set my profit target. I will sell half of my position, a third of my position, once you climb from this resistance line or support line up to this resistance line. Just in case it's going to, from that point, continue up, I don't sell everything. But as soon as it starts definitively heading back down, I'll go ahead and get rid of the rest of my position. So that's why you see me selling half up here and then half down here. That way, I'm not making the profit I would if I sold it all up here, but I have half still in the kitty so that if it does start the upward move, I'm ready. So I went ahead and it came back down, and I went ahead and bought in. As you can see, these candlesticks did kind of drop down, but my buy-in, I want to try to zoom in a little tighter on that. So, yeah, still clunky as far as zooming. I wish it were better. So my second buy-in was actually here, and again they don't or here. So my second buy-in was here, and it was right up here actually. So it had come down. I kind of missed the opportunity to get in here. It came up again. It dropped, and you know how it is. The arrow doesn't show up unless you're zoomed in a lot more. So it was in this candlestick that I bought. It would have been in this area here that it actually triggered. However, you put a stop loss under your resistance line, and it shot down and got my stop loss. So, all right, that happens. It has broken the pattern at this point. It is under the support line. So I'm not going back in, even though it did start to do a little bit of an upward move, and then it petered out. Volume just fell away. Okay, so Cavium gave me a little money here, and it took it back here. I was back even. Then it started to do a bit of a bear triangle. So you can see the pattern here, where you're going up and down. You've got a support line at the bottom that is flat, and you've got a line of resistance at the top. In this particular case, when it's going to break towards the flat side. So you would enter at your third confirmation short. You would set your stop loss above that point, and then you would go ahead and wait for it to go down. Well, it kind of hit the end, and it did exactly the opposite. Went up, stopped me out. So lost a little bit of money there. And that was it. That was it for Cavium. Cavium was just kind of odd. And in all honesty, if I'm rating myself correctly, this is a little bit sketchy as a triangle. It's imagine it without this particular candle, and you'll see it was a triangle, but it wasn't a great one. And so, was I chasing my trades from over here? Maybe a little bit. Yes, we're not aggressive, but we're still human. So it was important at that point just to leave Cavium alone. And I did. Micron showed. Actually, I think it did ABC first. So I was looking at stocks, and wow, ABC just had this beautiful descending channel. So just like the wedge, the channel, if it's descending, is going to be a break up. And so did not get in until it had actually started its move up. And I just mentioned being human. Well, I chased this stock a little bit. Obviously, this should have been my logical entry, but I didn't see it in time for that. However, it was moving nice and predictably, and it got up here, and it broke over. And at that point, it's out of pattern and it's up. If it's going to make an upward move, this is the upward move. And I was in a position to buy in. I bought in right about here. So I bought in. Stock moved up about 40 cents. I sold half. Went up. I was kind of doing a trailing stop at that point. I would have bought out as soon as it was either it goes higher, or if it dropped back a lot. Well, it dropped back to about 84.65. So, and then the rest of it at 85.10. So 85.10. Yeah. So anyway, made some money. Had I held a little bit in, it would have then continued up. Again, smaller positions. I was doing 200 share position sizes. So still working on key bindings. Yes, I prefer to buy out in more stages, but when I'm in small positions, it's honestly you wind up, even though it's a couple dollars, you're going to wind up paying more in commissions than you make if you're running this up with 20 shares or 50 shares or whatever. Anyway, so that's why. But that worked out. And then Micron, to come in here, So Micron started doing, and this was late in the day. You can see this is about 12 o'clock. So Micron was, it looked like, setting up a really nice bear triangle. So I had my confirmation. I bought in. And this one I did just textbook. I didn't buy in, obviously. I went short. And when I got down here to the line, I went ahead and liquidated half of my position. And then it broke down below the line of support. And so down here at the bottom, I started liquidating more and held on to some, started coming back up. I waited until, you can see the tagline here, I waited until it had definitively got back up over the line of support, and then I liquidated the remaining 75 shares I had. It did eventually it kind of went sideways and then a little up. There's just, to zoom out a little bit more though, there's just no volume to speak of here. You can see the volume much greater earlier in the day, and then just kind of fell off. So anyway, made some money on that. It just didn't get the big drop. If this had happened earlier in the day, maybe it would have dropped further. Obviously, the target you're expecting is this distance right here. So actually, if you look at that and you take this as a drop as a whole, it did fall about that amount. So anyway, that was it. Not the best day in the world, not the worst day in the world. And so we'll be back at it tomorrow and try to make some money. We take what the market will give us. We don't chase. We don't push. We don't try to bend the market to our will. If the market is going to give us $60, we're going to take $60. If it's going to give us $150, we'll give us $150. So today I was kind of trading about $15,000. Tomorrow it's Friday. Friday is typically a slower trading day because all the traders want to be on the weekend. I don't think I'm going to increase from 15 tomorrow. I'll probably wait till next week and start going up into 20 and 22, 25,000. Just look, easing into it. No reason not to. So, see y'all tomorrow.